going on, family? Welcome to the Box Up Nation podcast, episode 1. This is my man Jonathan. I'm Jay. And today, guys, we're going to start off by shouting my own brand out. This is Alpha Box. So for all you boxers, you want to get fresh and clean, you know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram. I'm going to tag it in the comments. Also, we want to send a huge shout out to badass boxing brand, Brian Boxing, man. If you want to, you can talk a little bit about Brian Boxing for a second.
Brian Boxing, one of the best gloves in my opinion, one of my favorites. People often ask me, what's your top 5? And Brian Boxing is definitely up there. I won't give you my list, whatever.
It's another episode.
Yeah, it's another episode. But black-owned business, veteran-owned business, and he does a lot for the community. He does. He just recently did a breast cancer donation where if you donated, he matched your donation. He's also going to start working with the Innocence Project. So if you buy a pair of Brian Boxing gloves, for every 3 pairs that you buy, 1 gets donated. He donates to people in Nigeria, local gyms in Texas, and pretty much nationwide. So, and the cool thing is too, you can also request where your donation goes. So Brian Boxing, black owned, veteran owned, and just a solid guy, really solid. Not everybody I work with I like, but he's one of them.
And this coming from a guy that does it for a living. People that don't know, this is Mr. Box Up Nation on Instagram. I'm gonna tag his tag on there too, and he sells. You're basically a retailer.
Yeah, so pretty much the best of the best. So if it's dog shit, it ain't gonna be in my store. So.
But like as you can see, everything from fly to Everlast to winning to. But anyways, guys, let's get to the first topic, man. So the biggest fight this weekend, Mr. Tank and Mr. Leo Santa Cruz, man. Let me get your thoughts, man.
Going into the fight, I thought if we saw the same Tank we saw that fought Gamboa, that he was gonna have a rough night and possibly get stopped. But I thought I had Tank winning. Bigger, stronger dude. Well, I won't say bigger, but definitely stronger, much of a puncher. He's very explosive. But I was like, if he takes this fight lightly, like I think he did with Gamboa, he would have had some problems. But we got to see a driven Tank, a motivated Tank, a disciplined Tank, and I think we got to see one of the best versions of Tank. And I give him all the credit in the world. He fought a guy with the name. He fought a guy who's a championship level caliber fighter, and he knocked him out. He can't.
Knocked him out cold, man.
And it was a good little back and forth.
No, it was a competitive fight for sure. Like that's why I give it like a lot of props to Leo, because like people, before the fight, people were talking about how Leo kind of looked as the bigger guy.
Yeah.
And that's not the case, man. We got to remember at the end of the day, Leo started at 118. You know what I mean? Like
he does have the height. He does have the height, but not. Tank's.
Nah, man, he's more muscular, man. Tank's just a more muscular guy. Like,
yeah, I'm saying, but as far as like height goes, there really was a height difference, but it's not like he was like.
But to me, I still think Tank's the bigger guy.
He's very powerhouse. If Leo could pop, and then we'd be like, oh,
it'd be different.
Yeah, but
and I think that was one of the biggest things in the fight that he, it looked like after like round 3, I want to say, the Tank just started walking him down. It looked like almost like he was sparring. He was just like mitts up, hands up, and he was just like, let me take so I can give you what let me receive so I can take.
Yeah.
So so I can give you what I got. And I think that was like one of the biggest parts of the fight. And if you see from the first round, man, he was shooting that uppercut. Like every time you go to a right hand, here it comes. And pay attention. Watch like when before the fight when they're warming up hitting mids and Floyd's giving instructions, and you can kind of see Floyd leaning and throwing an uppercut, right? I feel like that was like a big part of the game plan because Leo doesn't move his damn head.
Yeah.
So I feel like Tank came in there, like you said, very determined. I think he had like a 12, 14-week training camp. And he did it in Vegas, so he didn't do it at home like he usually does. So I feel like he was a lot more focused. And like his first pay-per-view. So
yeah.
he had to look good. I thought Tank was gonna win. I was leaning towards Tank, for the most part. Not just because of the size, I just think that because of the speed and the athleticism of Tank, with a guy Leo who's slow feet, not the fastest guy with his hands either, have a lot of power, don't move his head. I just feel like Floyd is a very smart guy, and he put him in there with the no, I'm not taking nothing away from Tank now.
Yeah.
I just feel like they put him in there with the perfect guy to be with for his first pay-per-view.
It was a little safer because we mentioned earlier that Leo has his credentials. Leo's a top level caliber fighter, but he's missing one big thing that can change the dynamic of a fight, which is punching power, right?
For sure.
So I give him his credit. He did what he was supposed to do. He did.
No, he gave him a good fight. You touch him up a little bit.
Yeah, he fought well, but I mean, it was a guy who not really a big puncher.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that was one of the biggest things, like you said, because Leo was touching him. Like the 1-2 was landing, the jab was definitely landing. Like every time he went 1-2, and then the jab again, he was beating Tank to the punches like on length alone.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, it's just when a guy just doesn't respect you, he's just walking you down. Eventually, he was gonna land a big punch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like if you watch the replay, he threw like he went 1-2, 2, and then he threw like I don't know what he was thinking, throwing the same right hand, and the punch got even slower after the third one, of course, right?
Yeah.
And it was just like he threw it kind of lazy with it too, and man, it was perfect time, and man, that's why I do give a lot of credit to Tank though. You know what I mean? Because there was a heck of a counter. Like when Roy Jones was talking about making a guy in by hairline, he actually like touched Tank a little bit coming in. And it was like you had to sacrifice that, getting touched a little bit to land like the perfect shot. You know what I mean? And it was one of the most badass knockouts I've ever seen, especially live.
It was crazy, man. It was a nasty ass uppercut for sure.
Bro, I thought Leo was like I don't want to, I thought Leo was dead for a little bit, bro.
It kind of reminded me of Pacquiao Marquez.
Yes, that was the last one that I've seen that was that brutal.
Yeah, it was
especially
bad.
live.
So yeah, I mean, it's fight game, shit happen.
I mean, I'm like, man, I'm serious. And the crazy thing, it happened like right in Leo's corner, like where his dad literally sitting right there. You know what I mean? Like, did you see like how he like reached out and like grabbed his arm, like after like Leo didn't respond for a couple seconds?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see that part. I mean, I caught a few rounds and I caught the last round. So yeah, I didn't see all that. But thankfully, he seems to be doing okay.
He smiled. He was smiling and stuff. He walked on. But if you so in the corner, right? Leo's brother, right? I think his name was Antonio. He was like, yeah, man, just wait. It's like the fourth round. Yeah, man, just wait a couple more rounds. He's gonna get tired. So the whole time, it was like, Tank don't have stamina.
Well, they're going based up on
past history.
Yeah.
But check this out though. To me, it looked like Leo was the one fatiguing.
Well, you could find a guy who can hit. I mean, even if you're blocking him or even whatever, those punches do take a little bit out of you.
That like I feel like Tank did a lot more things that people like give him like a little credit for. Even in like the short sample, it's like a semi-sample, 6 rounds, but Tank did a lot of like 1-1-2 and like a hard left hand to the body. And he came around a couple of times, hit a right hook to the body. Also, he was landing some hard right hooks to the head that Leo was like. Leo's a tough SOB, right?
Yeah.
So he was still fighting. Like, it looked like the more he got hit harder, the more Leo wanted to come. You know what I mean? And I feel like the thick Mexican blood is kind of like it was like his kryptonite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that they may have boxed more. Like whenever he fought Frampton for the second time, he boxed a little bit more.
But see, Tank didn't allow him to box though. He didn't allow him. He just
Leo. I don't think he wanted to box. I thought he was gonna stay in there and just slug it out a little bit and just tire him out.
I think the game plan was for him to box, but I think what happened was Tank didn't allow him to.
I don't think it was that.
Watch the fight, man. I only seen it twice. I mean, I watched it live, then I seen it again. And
the rounds that I caught, it was basically Leo was there and he was
exchanging.
Yeah, exchanging. So
but watch it. He didn't give him a chance. Like after the third round, Tank was just walking him down. Like you have no choice but to let your hands go, to keep him off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, what I saw, he just came there and he was like waiting for him, and they were just gonna exchange. And I think they were banking on Tank punching himself out maybe, and then
it worked against them because I feel like it ended up Leo the one.
I don't think it would have changed the fact that he would. I think it would have happened anyway.
But I think we don't give Tank enough credit as being such a brilliant fighter, and he showed it in this one. I already knew he can box. He had good head movement. You saw a little bit with Pedraza and I think the Fonseca fight he showed a little bit. But now I see like, man, he's really set it up. Like he was setting up uppercut the whole time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it showed that he's, you know, I seen Tank fight guys who were man. Okay, he finally fought a guy who was, you know,
Who's gonna give him
top
some?
caliber.
Yeah. Just not a big guy and an elite puncher.
Yeah, I mean they set it up, you know.
Like I said, I think it was a perfect fight because look, I mean, just check out. And I gotta give credit to Floyd as a promoter because, I mean, look, Leo has a big following. He's Mexican. They're fighting in San Antonio
Right.
with a crowd, right? He has credibility because he's won titles in like 4 different weight classes now, right? So it was like I feel like it was, and he's not a big puncher, so it's not a huge risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean you match your guy up with, you know, the right type of dude to make him look really good, and you know it was good. It was a good fight. It was a great matchup, and
it was a good fight. I feel like if you, I mean the card in general, it was 4 fights. They were all knockouts.
Yeah.